messed up, my brother.
Cue intro.
And we are back. Another
back.
beautiful day at the Waterboyz Show, man. Everybody out there that's listening right now, it's time for a little digital currency, man. Thank y'all for showing up, sitting down with us, making us a part of your day. Like the saying goes, you could have been anywhere in the world, and maybe you are anywhere in the world, but you're taking time to listen to us while you are where you are in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? But look, digital currency time. The same support that and the care that we take, man, in building this content, we thank y'all for showing up and showing us love. So please continue to give us that digital currency. Like, share, subscribe, wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listening to podcast on. Make sure you take a time, give us some comments, give us a 5-star rating. That helps our visibility, helps more people find our show, and it's that digital currency that we talk about. Look, it is invaluable. We can't thank you guys enough, and we wouldn't be who we are and growing the way we are growing without y'all and the love that y'all give us. And after you do that, you can give us a little real currency. Ain't nothing wrong with coming out your pocketbook just a little bit, coming out your wallet a little bit, coming off a little bit of that Apple Pay. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Go to 285clothing.com. That's the numbers, 285clothing.com. Get you some of this Waterboyz Show merch. If you're watching, it's up on the screen. If you're listening, it's simple. The number 2, the number 8, the number 5, clothing.com. Get you some of this Waterboyz Show merch and get you some of this Blood Pressure Birds clothing and everything Atlanta culture. Make sure y'all check us out. So look, now that we got that out the way, man, we had a first run at this, but we had a couple technical difficulties, man. I gave my brother, one of the greatest intros. Because of time, I can't do it the exact same way, but I will tell you this. When I'm talking about an MC, somebody who knows it from MCing, when somebody who knows it from giving back to the community, from gathering people together, from starting out the trunk with clothing and music and turning into full-fledged store, full-fledged brand that you see superstars and stars rocking all over and stopping by. He knows about that. When it comes to giving back to the community, like I said, when people were getting themselves together in Oakland and people were making sure no stores were being bothered while the community was still getting together. I remember seeing him online out there in front of his store, talking to the people, calming people down, but also letting people understand that I'm right there with you. So he understands the community. And also, I say it all the time, I love the fact that he can speak it and talk with intelligence for anybody who want to hear and you want to learn something. He has a perspective and he has his own mind, and I think more of us, more brothers, need to continue to show that, and I appreciate that from him. And he also is well versed when it comes to sports. He been there for some championships.
What you talking about, man?
Front and center, man. Hold on, man. Man, calm down, man. Who you think I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Calm down, man. Y'all here be trying to ruin my intro, man. Listen, man, y'all give it up for our brother, our partner, the great Mr. Fab in the building. Coming straight from Oakland, straight from the Bay.
Yes, sir, man. Happy to be here, man. Like I say, man, with no further ado, man, thank you, God. God is the greatest. We will remain grateful and thankful, man, and just excited to see you guys continuing to still push forward. After all of the hurdles and obstacles that we've been through. As you know, we've been rocking about 20 years now and almost, B.
Jeez.
About 20 years since 06, 05, 06. And so to still be here, man, we don't look like what we've been through.
There we go.
Feeling good, feeling great.
Feeling good, feeling great.
Yeah, I
see them diamonds.
Oh, man, ain't nothing. That's just a little stuff. That's star dust, man. Them ain't real.
Hey, man, like I want to reiterate what I said earlier. Even was on mute. I want to let the world know. Like I said, man, you've been kind of integral in my part of my career. And by me saying that, I go back to it. Back in 2006, I met you with Jim Johnson down in Miami. And from that introduction, man, you've been nothing but giving. A lot of people like keep the sauce to themselves. And what I mean by that is you're from the Bay Area. A lot of Bay Area artists, to me, man, y'all are the definition of hustlers. And what I mean by that is y'all be on y'all independent grind out there. Y'all are selling records out your trunks, in the streets, and you're making independent money. And, you know, where we're from, you know, we were trying to get a deal with a major. And to be honest with you, you know, a major may sell more records, but an independent make more money. you may sell 50,000, 20,000 records, but all that you keeping all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Just T.I. real quick. Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off.
That's all good. All right, so but let me continue saying that. What I'm gonna say.
Up here with that nigga B Rich.
What
man.
up, Tip?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
I'm over here at the Braves Stadium, man.
What you doing, cuz?
Man, doing a little content, man. You know what I'm saying? Picking up a bank, coming out, be rich upside the head.
We knocking out this podcast, and then when I'm done here, I'll call you. Let's get up. My camera guy just flew in, so let me know when you got a window.
Hey, man, I've been waiting on you all day yesterday.
Oh, nigga, I called you last night after you said you was finna hit me back.
Hey, let me holler at her. Let me holler. Hey, Tip. Hey, man. Hey, congratulations on that song, man. That song fire, bro. Congratulations, bro. Real talk, man. Yeah, I love that song.
Nigga,
Appreciate you, B.
all right, I'll call you when I'm done here, and then we'll just go from there.
Yeah, say less, man.
All right, cuz.
Hey, man, that's how we do on the show, man. That's Tip, man. Got the #1 song in the country, man. I matter of fact, you cultivate a relationship. I introduced you to Tip, man.
Something like
so
that.
did, yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Hey,
did.
man.
Nah, so for real.
That was up. But so where I was going with was, man, like you came back, man, and you introduced me to Ghazi at Empire. And what that did for us, man, it did a lot for our team, bro. And it taught me the streaming game back in 06 when nobody knew what streaming was. And also, man, when we did a show that would rock the bells, you came in and brought one of the hottest songs at the time, the artist, what you say his name was? Rich?
Big Rich.
Big Rich. Be Rich, Big Rich. And he brought his whole team out there, man, and we look like some superstars out there performing in San Francisco, man. So appreciate that, bro.
Nothing but love, man. We've done in a miraculous amount of favors for each other, and that can't be charted or shouldn't be recanted by bringing it back and trying to throw it back out there. Nah, man, we did what we did just out of brotherhood, and that's the beauty of friendships, man, and really exuding what a friend is. Somebody that can do things without the need to be praised, or there was no need for any of that. My personal gratitude comes from God just to be able to do those. Ghazi's been a friend way before the music. I love that brother till this day. I'm grateful of all the opportunities that he's opened for not only myself, but for everybody else, even the individuals that I may not be closely connected to. So to see you guys develop a friendship and a relationship, and most of all, as entrepreneurs, to get money together, that's a beautiful thing, man. So hey, man, we ain't gonna look at the scoreboard, man. We just gonna keep scoring, man. And here it is, 2026. As you said, we met in 06 with Jim Johnson. 20 years later, man, we still here, man.
Yeah,
that's
still here.
beautiful, man.
There's a whole lot of people that's not.
It was interesting. Like right when we had our technical difficulties, you and Trey was talking about some stuff that I think the world needs to hear. Trey, can you go back to what you were saying? Because it was pretty interesting, man. Like what was going on, man. I don't mean to cut you. I know you the host of the show, and I'm sorry.
You don't even have to say that.
Hey, I'm just
Just
saying.
let it flow, man.
All right, let's go.
Just speak to the water, as you like to say, man.
Your body made a 70% of water, right?
Yes, sir. And the world.
And so they did a study on water. If you talk to it positively, the water had formed great crystals. If you talk to it negatively, it formed negative crystals. So what I'm saying is, when you speak out of your mic, you're speaking to the people, the water and the people.
Right.
You can manifest things.
Yeah, be alkaline.
Exactly.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
be
I'm trying
alkaline.
to tell you, hey, yeah, look, and remember what I told y'all. You ain't have to play. You ain't got to pay your hot water bill. Speak to the water, tell it you want it hot, man. It come out hot. You know what I'm saying? let be rich. Tell it. But look, what we were talking about. I asked you, being a person who was a big time Warriors fan, like it's legit. I remember seeing you, putting up pictures online. You in the stadium. I think it's some seats you said you and your mom had for years. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, anytime people look at a big playoff game and it's a home game, man, you right there, front and center, can be seen. So what I asked you, do you think Steph, really is valued the way he should? Does he get his just due as being as great of a player as he is?
No, not at all. I think Steph's a player's player, where the people that play the game, they understand what he represents. They understand his significance to the evolution of basketball. And they'll always regard him as, one of the greatest, as well as a game changer. There are era changers that we've got a chance to witness growing up. several individuals, but there are only a few people that actually change the way the game is played. And he's one of those guys that actually changed the way the game is played. The average fan, I don't think that they'll recognize that and put him up there like that. They'll always try to marginalize his ability just by being a great shooter. They'll just put him in that one category, just like several other people. And in no form of comparison am I trying to do it like myself, but there's certain people that'll be like, oh, Fab could freestyle great, and then they'll leave it at that. And they won't talk about the other aspects of, your contributions to this game. And that's how Steph is. As I said off camera, he's the greatest mishandled superstar that we've ever seen in all sports.
Like expand on that, man. Let people know what you mean by that. The greatest mishandled superstar.
When we talk about the comparison that I gave was Michael Jordan. In our era growing up, there wasn't a space that we can go in a day where we didn't see Michael Jordan. We saw him on Sports Illustrated. We saw him on ESPN. We saw him on Gatorade. We saw him in Nike commercials. We saw him in Hanes. We saw him everywhere. We saw Michael Jordan everywhere. Now, whether that's by choice or whether it's by just a lack of ability of marketing skills, we don't see Steph like that. You may say Steph randomly in a few commercials here and there. But for what a player like that has done for sports, you would think that he would be everywhere. You would think that he would be globalized in marketing, not just on the basketball court. Outside of basketball, you really don't see Steph much. Yeah. And that could be by choice.
You're right.
But he has the right complexion for the connection. He has the right skill set, and he is who he say he is. You don't hear any dirt about him.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Because there is none. Yeah. He's a man, that's Jesus Christ, man. He's one of the greatest humans I've ever met in my life, man. And I'm just thankful to call him a friend and a brother. And I'll leave that with that.
Man, and look, it's great what you said, but I never heard that Jesus Christ. Now
Jesus Christ.
That's funny. I like that. All right, Steph, man. Yeah, Steph. I'm a huge fan of Steph Curry, but I was just talking about that team, period. And I was saying something that I try to be man enough to admit if I got a sports take wrong or a sports opinion wrong, or if there was somewhere that I wasn't viewing things from the most from the best perspective that it could be viewed from. And I brought up Draymond, and I said I think it was a time that myself and I think a few other NBA fans didn't see the full and complete value that Draymond Green has brought to these teams over the years. I think there are a lot of people who know he's part of the championships and they know he did his thing, but I don't think people know exactly how important of a piece he is to those championship teams, not only on the court, but to the fabric of the team, period, off the court, man. You, that being another person that you are close with, man, and being a fan, please, man, let the people know and like really get into that so people can learn exactly what Draymond Green brings to the table and who he is as a player.
People want to marginalize Dre as just a role player, and that's not true. Like, we don't win 4 championships without Draymond Green. Draymond Green is the heartbeat of the Warriors. He's been the backbone. He's been a vibrant, an entity that plays a major part in the whole, in galvanizing a championship core. Him being able to go out there and his basketball IQ alone has created so much a positive atmosphere on the court for those players. I mean, give it that you've had an opportunity to play with the greatest shooters.
Him and Clay, Steph and Clay.
And I want to be able to say that adamantly so people can understand that Klay Thompson,
beast.
If it wasn't for Steph Curry, they would say Klay Thompson is the greatest shooter. Form-wise, even Steph would tell you, Klay's shot is picture perfect.
Yeah.
Prime time Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
His form, his shot, how he can get it off, in the timing and the speed. Klay's the purest shooter that we've probably ever seen since Ray Allen.
36 and a quarter.
11 dribbles.
In that same quarter?
He had 60 points and 11 dribbles.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like, Klay Thompson is crazy. So give it that as a distributor, Draymond Green playing the position which is called a tweener a guy that is in between all positions, who's played 1 through 5, offensively and defensively, being able to have the greatest weapons on your left or your right, hey man, it was almost like a cheat code. That three-headed monster was a cheat code, and Dre played it successfully. This is a player that a role player doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year. A role player isn't first defensive all those times, all-stars, and a 4-time champion. That's not a role player. We only judge players in today's time by their offensive output, and that's not fair because he wasn't required to be an offensive contributor.
Not at all.
He went out and did his job. He did more than his job. And the off-court, on-court, what people like to call antics, you learn to live with and you deal with because he's also doing the other things. So, hey, man, Draymond Green will go down as a Hall of Famer. And he'll go down as one of the greatest steals in the NBA draft next to a Jokic and things of that nature because this is a guy that came in the second round who wasn't projected to be in the NBA longer than 4 or 5 years.
And look at him. Hall of Famer.
Without first ballot.
So look, something else you said, and I really want to get into this. You said an argument could be made because when we talked about Clay and we talked about Steph, talked about the comparison of Jordan and Pippen and how Clay would be looked at, in a Pippen kind of light. But you said an argument can be made that Scottie Pippen was better than Michael Jordan or more important to those teams than Michael Jordan.
No, I won't say more important, but I won't recant my statement. There can be a civilized argument that can have measure to it that Scottie Pippen was a better player as than Michael Jordan. And I won't say it like, okay, here it is where the world, I'll get crucified for this. But people that actually know basketball, where do you find someone that's 6'9", between 6'7" and 6'9", first team defense, all-star, I'm guarding the best player, I'm going out doing whatever is next. This dude guarded Patrick Ewing, Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, John Starks, Derek Harper. This dude, like when he guarded every person that played on the Knicks teams. Whoever was hot at the time, Scottie get him. Let's let Mike be great on offense. Scottie, you get him on defense. So the things that's required for what Scottie was able to do. Let me relieve you of your defensive job. Still give it. Michael Jordan still was first team defense. Takes nothing away from him. But everything that Mike has, Scottie has as well. When we talk about 6-0, never lost in the finals, we talk about, certain situations.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that Mike was heralded as the second coming of Christ when it comes to sports. He was heralded as that. And him being the Black Messiah, he took that and he ran with it. And we were all engulfed in not only the marketing, but his display of his ability. Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. I'm not arguing that. But Scottie Pippen is not far off. And the reason why there are many people that won't say that, because Scottie was never marketed. Like, you never saw Scottie in a commercial. You never saw Scottie, even with his shoes. I never seen a commercial for Scottie Pippen shoes. Certain people probably don't even remember the up-tempos.
I really don't. It ain't even hitting me right now.
Like, I'm a sneakerhead. So, Scottie may not have been the most marketable guy. You know
Definitely
what I'm saying?
not.
This dude, hell, boy,
Definitely
he
not.
crazy.
There were cringes when they talked about his physical appearances.
So
but
look, go ahead.
You can't take away what Scottie Pippen did and what he does, who he was on that basketball court. Scottie was incredible, bro.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that. I guess, like I said, man, I think it's a good discussion that could be had. A lot of times people gonna hear that and say, man, you crazy, you done lost your mind. But hey, man, like, look, we all know the engine is what a starter car, and the engine gonna make it go, but it ain't gonna move without that transmission.
Man, and the brakes,
you know what I'm saying?
The radiator.
It ain't.
You know what I'm saying? And even, like I say, where do you find a 6'8" point guard playing forward, playing all positions? Scottie was like a more athletic Draymond Green. Like this is Scotty is like
Get the
people.
rebound, bring the ball up.
Man, I'm gonna bring it up.
Like
I'm gonna
doing
get it. I'm
overtime.
gonna call it. I'm gonna do some great. I'm gonna grab whoever is hot. I'm stopping him, and then I could still come down and give you 50 if I needed to. Like they couldn't stop Scotty, bro. Scotty on the fast break dunking on anybody.
Shout out to old Scottie Pippen.
Big
man.
shout out to Scottie Pippen, man.
I hate the Bulls, so I don't want to talk about them.
All right.
But what I do want to talk about, hey man, it's the truth. I hated the Bulls. I was a Hawks fan, Dominique. But seriously, I don't want to talk about two people from the Hawks that you can definitely relate to. The first one, me and Trey had an argument in the beginning with Trae Young when he came in. I used to say Trae Young was baby Steph, and Trey hated that.
Tell the whole thing.
I mean, we will. I just want to get to the point. All right.
Yeah, tell the whole
I'm
thing,
not trying
man.
to take to a tangent.
Tell the whole thing.
I just said Trae Young was better as a rookie than Steph Curry was.
Say he was gonna be better.
And I didn't say he was gonna be better. I didn't say he was gonna be better. I said I didn't say he was going to be better than Steph Curry. You're putting words in my mouth. I said he had a better rookie season and he's on the pace of doing what Steph Curry can do. Okay, cool. All right. So now, why did it work and it didn't work in with Trae Young in the Hawks?
First, I'll address the bookmark, and the bookmark is Trae Young came into a situation where he was able to thrive. Without a Steph Curry, there could be no contingency and the ability of what Trae Young was able to produce. Trae Young in Oklahoma was viewed as an undersized guard who probably wouldn't be able to make it to the next league. I mean, to the NBA and be effective as he was in Oklahoma. But since the success of Steph Curry as an undersized guard from long range who can spread the floor and hit the shot, he was given hope. When he came into the system with the Hawks, he had a green light to do whatever he wanted to do because it had already been displayed on what a player like that could bring to the table because of Steph Curry. Unfortunately, on the flip side of things, Steph Curry's introduction to the NBA was lobbied by you were playing behind Monte Ellis, and there was trying to figure out who would be the green light. There was no green light. In the infancy stages of Steph's career for the first 3 years, he suffered from ankle injuries, which didn't allow him to thrive at the fullest capacity that he did at Davidson. They knew he was a great shooter. They knew he had potential, but those injuries, as well as the fact of trying to decide who was the go-to guy and between him and Monte, is what limited those abilities. So if you say, I'm with you, who had a better rookie season, it was Trae. Give it that he had the opportunity to be great. He wasn't able to flourish like that. Steph, in that system.
No, I got you. So
once Monte was removed, the flourishing of what Steph Curry is what we are where we are today. The Hawks, I just feel like they didn't put enough weapons around Trae.
that's exactly how we feel.
You know, at 5'11", 6 feet, it's hard for you to be if your name is not Allen Iverson, it's hard for you to be a definitive franchise shifter. And what I mean by that is one player alone shifting the whole morale of a franchise. I don't feel like they put enough weapons around him. Capella, Collins, and all these other guys that they would just throw around him to try to, create a flourishing five. It wasn't there.
Yeah.
He needed to have a more agile big man, another running mate in the backcourt, and I just felt like there wasn't enough weapons for him. But he did a hell of a job. He got you guys to the playoffs, got deep in there, and trying to do what he had to do. It's always a little upsetting to see a player like that is deemed a franchise player be traded off and handled the way that he's been handled. But I think Washington Wizards, what they've been building in the past few years through the draft and as a collective, what they can do, they might have an opportunity to do something good next year. So let's see. I'm always been a fan of Trae Young, and I'm rooting for him.
The next question I want to ask you is, we traded Porzingis away to Golden State, and we got a young man named Jonathan Kuminga. And I pretty much didn't know a lot about him. I got a chance to see him play 3 games here, and I'm sold. Why did Golden State trade Kuminga? After watching him, I think he can be a superstar. What's the problem?
Steve Kerr has a tough time developing young players. And it's hard for him just based off the pedigree of which he's cut from. You know, you really didn't see Phil Jackson develop young players. He went with the core. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of people that can say, who did Phil Jackson develop? You know, Doug Collins did a great job of maturing Michael Jordan into becoming the Michael Jordan that Phil Collins inherited. I mean, Phil Jackson inherited. And it's tough for those kind of coaches because they want guys that are already ready.
Yeah.
And then they could work their magic from there.
Yeah.
If you ask me, do I believe that Steve Kerr is a good coach? Of course, I would never take anything away from Coach. But his inability to develop good players leaves a franchise stagnated. And the next guy up, ready mentality, is tough to the preparation of that, because if the next guy is not ready because of lack of development, it's hard to flourish when your key players are gone. If you ask me about JK, I feel like JK has always been a star quality player, just needed an opportunity. Athletically, he's a phenomenon. He's a phenom. I've seen that man do things in practice and in games that it was like, wow, like JK Kuminga is crazy. Funny that he's with the Hawks because there are remnants of Dominique and his athletic ability. You know what I'm saying?
I seen the windmill he did at a fast break, and Dominique was actually commentating the game.
Right.
And when he dunked, he was excited, and the commentator, he said, "Reminds you of Dominique Wilkins." And Dominique started laughing.
So yeah, man. So JK, he just needed an opportunity, man. He's a young guy. Basketball came to him late. He didn't start playing basketball till like the 11th grade, 12th grade. You know, so hoop is not his first thing. So he's learning the game. I feel like if you put him around a coaching staff and some players that can help develop his basketball IQ alongside conflated with his athletic ability, the league will be in trouble.
Yeah. Nah, I see it, bro. Like, you know, and what I like about him is when he was out there having fun, he's shooting his threes, making the dunks, he just was smiling. Like, he was generally laughing, having a good time, and the players seem to gravitate. Seems like it's a good mix, man. I didn't know nothing about him. I'm glad. I know Trey knew about him, Brent knew about him, Doug knew about him. I ain't know nothing about him, and I'm happy that we did. How y'all happy with Porzingis out there in Golden State, man?
Porzingis has been hurt. He's hindered by a heart murmur that didn't come up on the physical. That was later discovered by our medical staff. Realizing that heart murmur could potentially cause an early retirement. It's hard. There's no cure for what he's been diagnosed with. And so it will limit his ability to be available. We all know that in sports and in life, the best ability is availability.
100%.
You know what I mean? So when you have limited ability and then you become a liability, in the team that we're dealing with now, we need to have something that we can count on. Steph, Dre, Harford, we're older guys now, and so you know the injury prone, and it's going to be difficult going down in a late leg of trying to make the playoffs and then making a push. But a healthy Warriors, I still feel like, can compete against anybody in the league, as long as you got Steph Curry and Draymond, and if Porzingis could potentially be available, I would love to see how we fare against some of the Western teams. And it's something to look forward to. But as I say, that heart murmur is something that puts a big asterisk around the acceptance of what he can bring. Do I believe in Porzingis? Porzingis was a keynote player in the Boston Celtics winning the championship. So his ability when he's available is nothing to be questioned about. Yeah. He's always been a good player. And I would love to see him be healthy and see if we can get a run. And then if Jimmy comes back for the playoffs, hey, man, the Warriors will be one of those teams that nobody expected. Only the true fan core base would be say, hey, man, I told y'all.
Yeah, I read something where Draymond says when Porzingis is on the floor, it makes it much easier.
Most definitely. He's 6'10". Sure. He's almost 7-footer. He can shoot the ball.
He's 7'2".
He's not that tall.
He's 7'2".
He's about 7 feet.
He's 7'2".
I'll give him 6'11".
I bet that chain.
It just keep going down. It just
I bet you that chain. I bet you that chain
going up and down.
I bet you that chain. He's 7'2".
However tall he is, man, he can shoot the ball. And one thing about him, he has a high basketball IQ. And when he's available, he's dominant. Like, I think the Celtics fans will go out and say that he's a big reason why they won their championship, even though he wasn't available in those finals. But just getting them there, I would love to see a starting five that looks like Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Porzingis, Jimmy Butler, and
I forgot about Jimmy Butler.
and whoever else we decide to put in at the 2. But that's a crazy starting 5.
Hey, so look, at the time of this taping, the night before, Bam Adebayo put up 83. Scored 83, man. Passed my favorite NBA player of all time, Kobe Bryant, in the second most scored points in the NBA game by a single player. Man, what are your thoughts on Bam and his 83?
If Bam scored 83, Wilt definitely scored 100. Because you hear the rumors that game didn't exist. People be like, Wilt didn't score no 100 points.
100.
If Bam scored 83, Wilt for sure scored 100. And that's no disrespect to Bam.
Yeah.
I see people in the media marginalizing 83 points. If 83 points is so easy, why has no one ever done it? Why has, it took so long for Kobe to get 81? And then I think the next would be probably Elgin Baylor, or I don't know the next high. I know Jordan probably had a 70 game or something.
Yeah.
But if it was that easy, why hasn't anyone else done it? 83 points is 83 points. That's difficult.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. I don't care who you played against. You're in the NBA, so you're playing against professionals.
I mean, he played against the Washington
Who
Wizards.
cares who he played against?
And
Listen,
like my boy Mario said, he think Washington was in on it at the end.
let me tell you this. Everybody in the NBA was a Michael Jordan in their area before they got to the league. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is,
I get you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody great.
Everybody in the NBA was that dude in that area. The greatest role player in the NBA was all American, all something. Like Kevon Looney, my baby brother, love Loon. If you go look at who Loon was in Milwaukee, like he was Mr. Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Loon averaged almost 40 points a game, 20 rebounds. You get to the league and you be like, he did that? Like, it's everybody in the league was somebody coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that goes out the window. Oh, he played the worst team in it. Nah, man, that go out the window. Those are still professionals.
No, you're right.
And 83 points is 83 points. Shout out to Bam. And I'm glad that he got a chance to do it in front of his mother, in front of his girl, his significant other. And her commentary was even funny. And she said, well, at least I know I don't have the highest in the house no more. And it gave her something to go after. So that was amazing.
Trey, you said something that was pretty interesting. You said if Bam and his wife had a baby, what that baby would be.
Hey man, look, but because of the way genes work, if they have at least 3 kids, at least one of them gonna be one of the baddest things to ever touch a basketball court. Asia Jackson and Bam Adebayo, come on, man. The best WNBA player.
Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson, that's why I don't know why I said Jackson. Asia Wilson. Yeah, man, you got Asia Wilson, boy. Bruh, come on, dog.
Big shout out, like I said, man, big shout out to Bam, man. That's 83 points is 83 points, man.
It's crazy.
And I'm excited to see somebody set the benchmark for that. I would love to see Steph have one of those a selfish game where he goes out and he shoots 33s. I think that he could get it.
You want to see Steph get up in the 80s?
Yeah, I could see Steph do it.
If he had the green light, he's an unselfish player. But
he got the greatest green light.
But I'm saying if he had a green light just to
green.
go ahead and hit, hey, man, go get the record.
Steph shoot 33s, he going to get you an 80 ball because he gonna make about 15 or 20 of them.
And then you're going to get fouled.
Look, man, I'm going to tell you, man, and I ain't going to stay on it long. We can move on, man. He low-key a Steph Curry hater.
No, I'm not.
I just have to let it be.
I don't hate Steph Curry.
The battle of light skin.
I don't like. I never said I like Steph Curry.
I'm just messing with you,
It's
man.
the battle of the
I'm
light
just
skin.
trying to get him riled up, man.
Now I do want to say this. You like football?
Yeah.
All right. So question.
I just got a new quarterback.
This for our Falcon fans. This is what I'm going. What do you think about the Tua signing, man?
I like Tua. I've liked Tua since college. I think that the offensive line subjected him to be brutalized and a candidate of the CTE spokesman in Miami.
Boy, the CTE spokesman, jeez.
And it's been very difficult and rough, and it's actually egregious watching somebody go out and endure so much pain and torment from a quarterback position, and it's scary, concussion after concussion. But his dire love for the football game, allowing him to still want to compete, most players would have retired, and they would have gave it up early. So I hope that the offensive line can protect him. The double-headed, left-headed sword that you guys got now, 2 lefties being back there with the protective line, I think you guys can be cool. I like Tua. Tua's on ball effectiveness has never been in question. Once again, we talk about availability, him being healthy. We've seen the Dolphins win when he had the heel and everything. He went out there and he was effective. Tua was he's a great quarterback. He's shown that since college. But it's tough, man. We don't understand the severity of concussions, what that does to you on the field and off the field. So let's see if you guys can get a good version of him and protect him a little bit. And if he can be productive out there, maybe you can see Atlanta Hawks making a resurgence.
All right.
Atlanta Falcons. I'm sorry.
The next question is, on the outside looking in, we hired a coach from Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski. How are you looking at the Falcons as a franchise right now?
He just calls the Hawks. He ain't looking at them.
Exactly.
I'm just messing with you.
You caught Andrew Jackson.
Hey, no, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you, man.
You guys got the Browns head coach. That was their coach last year. I'm not for that. I think he's a racist.
Jeez.
I think if I don't know if this is true, and so I want to go out here and I'm asking.
Okay.
There's rumors that his wife's father
It's related to
had
Tim McCarver.
I'm glad you
had a
asking this.
discrepancy with Dion.
I'm glad you're asking this because we actually have information about this.
Had a discrepancy with Dion, and from his actions displayed, it seems as if he took that vendetta out on Dion's son.
Well, let us go ahead and chime in before you go too deep down on this. We had our guy, shout out to D. Orlando Ledbetter, was NFL beat writer for many years, was with the Green Bay Packers, was here with the Falcons, 22 years. He was here with the Falcons. He just retired. Shout out to UD Led. We actually spoke to D. Led about it, and he said he was going to do some real reporting and find out that's actually a false internet rumor.
Cool.
Yeah, her name is McCarthy. McCarver is Tim's name. Her name is McCarthy.
Okay, I'm glad I asked that.
Yeah. It's a false internet rumor that never happened.
Okay, so it goes back up what I'm saying anyway. White folks hate when we experience the same thing that they've been privileged to experience, which is cultural nepotism. And in cultural nepotism is the inheritance of what your forefathers or your family has done. If you're rich because your father was rich, these white folks hate that. But that's how America has been built. They've developed America off inheritance, the blue blood and the changing of the guard by just accepting inheritance. But when black people do it, we're viewed, we're marginalized and we're ostracized. You can't blame Dion for opening up the doors for his children to flourish. And because of that, you want to make his adventure arduous. You created difficulties in his transition becoming that quarterback because you was mad that his father was who he was. And that's how I look at that. They upset when black people enjoy the fruits of nepotism.
So when it comes to Coach Stefanski, and I think a lot of those sentiments were echoed by a lot of people here in the city, but hearing some of the reports that we've heard from certain NFL reporters since then, he seems to not have had a real problem with Shedeur as a person. Now, why wasn't Shedeur? We can argue why wasn't he put into the starting lineup earlier? Why wasn't he given him more of a chance? I can't defend him on like the football decision, but from what we hear from people around the league, what we hear that's being told to us is that he didn't approach the situation from that type of standpoint. I find I can only go by what those people said to us.
I want to say this. I was on you. Like, I was super upset. It was like instances where, Shedeur wins the game. He doesn't get a game ball. I didn't understand that. But then I find out Dillian Gabriel, he didn't get a game ball. So, but I did find out that he did make time after practice for Shedeur for Dylan and give them extra time that he didn't give with the other quarterbacks to develop them. I'm hearing that. I don't know if that's a PR campaign to clean things up, but I mean, from what he's doing here in Atlanta and from how he's presenting himself, it seems it's much different. But I was on what you was on when that was going on.
I don't know that man. I can only judge him from a sports fan. I don't know him personally.
Yeah, and we asked you what your opinion is being on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
You gave an honest opinion on the way you see it, man. And I want to ask you something about your city and being a sports fan of your city. And I'm interested to see, because I know you are a big sports fan, and I know you love your city. The two of those things, but they like two fists, right side by side. Your love for your city and your love for sports in your city. Man, like, tell the people, like, just how is it being an Oakland sports fan, born and raised, and you watch your baseball team now gone, you rocking the hat. I saw them when they put up videos of them taking the seats out the stadium. I mean, the Warriors still close by, but they moved from right there. And then, of course, you have the Raiders, who are now in Las Vegas. Man, just as a sports fan and as someone born and raised in Oakland and love your city the way you love it, I mean, how is it for that to happen, to see those three teams? Like, the Warriors not going anywhere, but they still not right there in the city. Man, how is that as a sports fan, seeing the A's leave, the Raiders leave again?
Politics and economics. It has nothing to do with the sports teams. And that's the sad part. When we talk about politics, economics, and then crime, that's a trinity that's extremely difficult to evade. Because the politics of Oakland, of those that are in position, are looking at what can we do to raise money in our city. The economics say, if we break down this space and build housing or build shopping centers or whatever, that can bring in more money than what the teams were bringing in. And then the crime, the players aren't comfortable and they don't feel immersed into community just based off the fact of they're exiled due to their success.
Hey.
And being successful makes you a target. And nobody wants to play in an environment like that because they can't even perform knowing that while you're at the game, your house may be broken in or your car may be stolen or you may be robbed going to a random space, in the city. So those three things play a key pivotal role in the reason why our teams have been taken from us. It's sad. It's something that I'm not happy about. If it was up to me, I would love to, build a new stadium for the A's. So, because that was the whole thing that they were dealing with. They had one of the oldest stadiums in the league.
Yeah.
Build a new stadium. As for the Warriors as well, But things are what they are. Oakland will always be the epicenter for several different things, and we've been the starting point and the ending point for a lot of situations. We can only just hope that another sports team can eventually come in to our city and because of the jobs that it opens. To me, that's what I'm looking at. It opens so many jobs. I think I'm more so, even as much as a super fan I am at sports,
Yeah.
I was hurt more about
The jobs leaving
the jobs being taken because that only induces the crime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People don't take that into account.
Man,
Even
thousands
even
of
down to
jobs.
the cat who lives close by, who can use his driveway somewhere where he can charge for parking.
Come on, man. It's
You know what I'm saying?
thousands of jobs that have been depleted because of that. And it's a desolate space in that area. And it's no coincidence that that area is the highest crime-ridden space in our city, where those guys played from 65th to 98th. It's the hottest area in Oakland, California, and it's crime-driven, and a lot of that is because of lack of opportunity.
Hey, I want to say this, man. I want to pivot to a different topic. When you come to Atlanta, man, when you come here, and give me a quick answer because I'm going to go somewhere else. What do you like to do? What are you excited about Atlanta when you come?
Eat.
Eat good. All right. What about, like, you like going to the clubs?
I'm not really a big club person these years of my life.
But when you was younger, what was fun?
I like the clubs. To me, I like the atmosphere of Black Hollywood. I feel like it's dwindled a little bit. Before, when we were young, when I was young, coming to Compound and coming to things like that back in the day. I've been coming to Atlanta for several years. I think the nightlife has dwindled, but that also comes from,
Just getting older.
Not only getting older, but crime. Crime and poverty and gentrifiers.
No, I got you.
People that come into Atlanta and take over what Atlanta has been known for. The Black Hollywood, the hospitality, even downstairs. I spoke to a lady and she kept walking, and I said, "Man, I remember Atlanta was once the space of Southern hospitality."
Yeah.
And those things have dwindled due to this new society and an evolving generation. They don't keep up customs and culture. But I've always loved that aspect of the togetherness of blackness in the South.
Okay, well, here's where I was going with this. Our Atlanta Hawks, man, on Monday coming up, we were gonna have Magic City Monday at the Hawks, right? And everybody was excited. They had hoodies that sold out within minutes that it was released, and it got some backlash. And now,
not just some backlash, it got way more than that.
The NBA came down and canceled it. But my question to you is, like with things like Gay Pride that they celebrated at the Hawks, we got gambling that they advertise on the NBA, and one of the biggest things they sell at NBA games is alcohol. So I want you to go into that and talk about that, man. Discuss that.
Where we from, we call it selective politicking. And selective politicking is where you nitpick what you choose to address. In the streets, it could be something like one side can be saying, "Oh, he told," but they'll be harboring a known rat and make excuses for what his situation was. And we call that selective politicking. Like, I'll ostracize you for what you're doing, but I'm actually guilty of doing the same thing. You know what I mean? We live in a world where it's extremely difficult that certain cultures can be embraced, yet other spaces can be ignored or ostracized and deal with so much scrutiny. I think the scrutiny of Atlanta Hawks embracing the strip club culture and nightclub, but no one saying anything about, as you said, the pride or alcohol being served or other things that they're able to do. We've watched the NBA become a slave auction to where they'll actually slave these athletes. And billionaire owners profit off the athleticism of minorities around the world. And they capitalize, and they're not held to a certain level of reparation given back into the community outside of the money that you pay your athlete to make your franchise great for you to make more money. But they don't have to do anything that embraces culture. I think that the world understands that in the South, especially Atlanta, that the nightclubs have been a major part of the reason why people want to come here. That's embracing culture. It's embracing culture, saying we're not demonizing dancers. If these dancers were put in a different setting, they would call it something else. If you put these same girls in the Olympics and have them do gymnastics or ring dancing, or if you put a pole in the Olympics and now we're doing pole dancing like classes, acrobatics on poles, you're looking at it as something different now. They're dressed up. It may be provocative to some, may be offensive. The slight nudity may be offensive to others. But in other cultures, these things have been embraced.
Well, we got cheerleaders.
You have cheerleaders that are doing the same thing. They just have a little bit more clothes on. So the selective outrage to me is the hilarity of it is they'll always find something to tear apart. And big shout out to the Atlanta franchise for even proposing the thought. And I think with certain legislation and other individuals that are influential that can step up and become advocates about addressing those things, I think that one night we'll get a chance to see Atlanta Hawks embrace the Magic City culture. And we have to stop demonizing things that has been a major part of our culture. We're not saying whatever else goes on inside of those clubs, but here's an opportunity that we can embrace culture. What's wrong with being a dancer? What's wrong with adult entertainment? Like, you know what I'm saying? How are we demonizing that?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Atlanta has already bought the hoodies. They're already ready for some wings.
Lemon
They
pepper
gonna
Lou.
show up.
And
They
we
gonna
gonna
show
show
up
out, bro.
on Monday. They gonna show up on look. We gotta get out of here. I've been dying to ask you this all these years. I want to ask you this before we close. I've been dying to ask you this all these years. I saw you after this, but I didn't even ask you then. And so I'm going to take the time to ask you this on the show, man. Did Pete Carroll really try to keep Beast Mode from winning that MVP?
I don't know if it was Pete. I don't know if it was Pete. The beauty of it is, you know, if the world doesn't know, me and Marshawn are first cousins. That's my baby cousin.
Well, get him on the show then, buddy.
There are things that, for the first couple of years when it happened, he didn't talk about it. He never talked about it. It was something that he harbored and he held on to.
He got a ring though, right?
Yeah, he got a ring.
All right.
That would have been
They
his
won
second
the year
ring.
before.
That would have been his second ring and an MVP.
It would have been back
for him. I think that it was a hurt for him. And it was hard for him to elaborate on his hurt because he didn't want to seem selfish. I'm glad that over the years, he's become more comfortable with talking about it. If I have to put a culprit on who it was between the offensive coordinator, between Pete Carroll,
I think it's Bevel.
I think it's Russell Wilson.
I was not expecting you to say that.
And I'm not trying to, dog Russell out, but I am. Let's just put it like this. If Peyton Manning is on the goal line and he has Marshawn Lynch in his backfield, on a count of three, what are we going to hear? 1, 2, 3.
Break, give him the ball.
No, what play is he going to say?
Oh, boy, we run that thing straight up the middle.
Omaha.
Yeah,
He's calling that audible.
yeah.
He looking at the sideline like,
Wait, what y'all doing?
what? He like this. What? Omaha. Like, we already know that play is getting called. What, they calling that in?
Yeah.
He gonna look at that like, man, you niggas is tripping.
Yeah, you lost your mind.
You lost your mind if you think I'm finna throw this right here. And he just ran 17, 18 yards to get us right here.
On the goal line.
On the goal line. Still got his energy, still got his juice. Still, what?
And you know the heart that he has.
Man, Super Bowl. Listen, bro, the whole family is at the game. I'm looking, I'm like, whoa, what they doing? Whoa. I see the formation.
You see him drop back in the shotgun.
I'm like,
hold
oh
on.
my God. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, the whole world knew, and give it, Pete Carroll knew that the whole world knew that the ball was going to him, but there are some things that should be inevitable. I don't care who knew. Y'all not stopping beast mode on the 1 yard line after coming off running a 15 to 20 yard run with the adrenaline pumping, with the Super Bowl on the line, with an opportunity to go and say, man, I'm back-to-back champions, I'm MVP, and y'all gonna be upset because when you ask me, Marshawn Lynch, how do you feel about winning the NFL champion Super Bowl once again? And he say, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Man, this is great. This is a great take. I love this, man.
I think that would have pissed the
Trey,
world off.
great question, man.
Man, I've been wanting to ask you
I'll
for
say
years.
Russell.
Look, let me tell you, Fab. I remember.
Russell, you should have gave him the damn ball, man.
Let me shut up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, let's get the camera on. What
Go
you
ahead.
say?
Go ahead. Say it again, Fab.
CC, I love you. Big shout out to A-Town. Big shout out to, Russell Wilson and everything that he was able to do with the Seahawks and him trying to develop and find himself after the Seahawks. But, and I don't wish anything, any wrongful deeds of you. I am not a man of that. But if you would have gave Marshawn Lynch the ball, your career would have fared much different. You wouldn't have went to the Broncos. You wouldn't have played with the Steelers. You wouldn't have got replaced by some quarterbacks that could never have your ability. You'd be loved by everyone if you would have called that audible. But I feel like you missed an opportunity to be greater. And that will always overshadow what it was that you were able to contribute to this sport. So it's sad that you missed an opportunity to be a part of something that would have been amazing and miraculous. The whole team was depleted after you not giving him that. And you almost turned us into a Finkel.
It sounds like you giving a eulogy.
You killed the whole Seahawks franchise.
I heard Richard Sherman went off in the locker room on Pete Carroll, told him you stole the Super Bowl from us.
That was like, it was cold, man. It was Ray Finkel, man. The laces were out.
Man, shout out to our boy, man, Ryan from the Birdcage LLC. He said, call it straight, Fab.
For
Call it
real.
just like how you see it.
How it was, man. Russell Wilson. Any other quarterback, I want you guys to do a poll. Ask any quarterback from Dan Marino to Steve Young to any quarterback that you could think of. What play would you have called if the sideline called in that play?
I bet Willie Beeman would have even gave
Willie
it to Beast
Beeman on any given Sunday.
Willie Beeman would have gave it to him.
He would have gave it to LL.
Man, let me tell you, man. I just remember, man, we're gonna close out here. I just remember when that happened. I remember going on Instagram, and dog, you were so infuriated.
Couldn't believe it.
You were walking out of the stadium. You were going live from your phone, and I just remember you were infuriated about it. And I've been wanting to ask you about it all those years when we saw you in Oakland in 2020, right before the pandemic. You was at your book signing and your book reading, and you were speaking at a college. So I didn't ask you then. I'm glad I waited until now because I've been wanting to ask you that all those years. That's been that's about 13 years ago.
A long time ago, man.
I've been wanting to ask you that question for 13 years, dog.
Trey, I spent $50,000 on them seats.
You sound like B. Rich when the Falcons lost to the Patriots. That's
Like,
all we talk about is how much you spent on the seats.
It wasn't even the money. The money we could make, you know what I'm saying, again.
Get that back.
But spending $50,000 to see something stolen from your cousin was like, that hurt more. I don't care about the money.
Yeah, that's your blood.
But to watch his legacy be stripped because of whatever it was, and then, like, y'all don't know the backstory between Russ and Marshawn. Like, and it's not my position to put it out there.
So you gonna get him to come on the show? We get to talk to him about it. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Y'all here first.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say this, man. It has been dope as a football fan. I never met Beast Mode, never met Marshawn. One time in Seattle, he came to a club where we was at, where Bob was about to perform, and I saw him next to Bob. I was like, no, boy, Beast Mode, a big dude. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have to try to stop him. He run down here with the far. But I never met him. But over the years, and I'm speaking strictly as a football fan, it has been a pleasure watching him show the world his personality over the years.
I love it.
Like, he's done so much, man. He really out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think most people would have known that he had that personality, man.
Right.
The latest thing I love is him and my guy LaRussell. The video where Beast Mode driving the golf cart or whatever the cart, and LaRussell going crazy. Man, I love that song, love that video, man. So
that's a rendition of when Sean was at Cal and he did that. So,
for real?
Yeah, so LaRussell came back and redid it again. There's a clip floating around with Sean.
so he did it when he was
at Cal, when he went to Cal.
And they redid
it, him driving around in the cart.
That's even more special.
I just love, man, I love that now the world gets a chance to see, who he is personality-wise, but they don't get a chance to see the things that he's doing behind the scenes, the monies that he's put in the schools and the organizations and foundations that he's built for the children, the free camps that he's done for 20 years. the school that he built in Haiti, the money, you know what I'm saying? These are things that he's done behind the scenes that he'll never talk about. He'll never publicly talk about those things. And the beauty of it is have other people, give you triumph. And that's the beautifulness of his kindred soul. And I love him for continuing to grow in that aspect and developing as a man. And it's just happy to see, him flourish outside of football and still remain
That's dope, man.
Shitty Shine.
That's dope, man. Yeah, but Ryan said I met Beast Mode at a free football camp out in East Oakland. He was a dope cat and humble, good people, man. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody else said, not you, amigo, said, shout out Humboldt County, man. Shout out to everybody that's on here. We about to wrap this thing up. Fab, thank you, my brother.
Man, thank y'all so much, man. I'm getting texts. Man, T.I. said he finna beat both of us up with this bat. Let me go link up with we finna go shoot this video. That's what we out here for, man. A new single, me and T.I. Make sure y'all check it out. It's called Nope. The record is super, super dope. Cuz told me to hop on the first flight out here to come shoot this video. So we locking in the video with from the A to the Bay. And we got a project together called A-Town Business. And it's just me and T.I. just talking at you. Feel me. And I love y'all, man. Thank you, B. Thank you, Trey. And hey, man, let's go, man. I hope y'all enjoy this. Y'all check us out, www.dopeera.com. Y'all want to get the clothing line. Y'all want to check everything that we doing out in Oakland. Log into my mental health workshop. I have the biggest emotional support group in Northern California called Thug Therapy. It's about mental health and mental wellness of Black men. And Thug Therapy stands for Teaching, Healing, Uniting, and Guiding. And we run a lot of different seminars about just wellness in our communities. Let's continue to keep bigging up, showing love, and showing up. The airway.
Yeah.
Part of we gonna get us on out of here.
Yeah, man. Well, look, like we always say, we represent Atlanta because Atlanta represents us. On behalf of myself, Trey, we got the great Mr. Fab in the building. We got my brother, my partner, B Rich. And you already know Super Mario was behind the board. Shout out to Doug. Shout out to Aaron, Stiller, Mike, T, Terry, the whole crew. Y'all already know how it ends every single time. The Waterboyz Show. We are out.
Kill the camera.